Hey guys, how's it going? I hope you're all doing really well as always. Welcome to the channel, and today we're going to be talking a little bit about how to get back into playing guitar when you've not been playing for a while. So somebody asked me the other day on one of my live streams how to go about getting back into guitar when they've not been playing for a while. So I wanted to give you guys who are basically in the same situation some tips on how to get back into playing. So the first one that I've got for you guys is basically to go and get yourselves inspired. I remember growing up watching Zakk Wylde interviews, and I remember somebody asking him, like, how's he go about, like, writing his records and stuff like that. And he always said just driving down to the studio, he'd be playing, like, his Black Sabbath records or his Led Zeppelin records or whatever it was. And by the time that he got to the studio, because he'd been listening to his favorite music, he was all fired up to go and just start writing and recording. I can relate to that myself. 9 times out of 10, when I'm watching, like, my favorite guitar players or watching concerts and stuff like that, I've got a bit of downtime or whatever, like, you know, it'll be like into like the third song or something, and the guitar's probably just going to end up on my lap because I'm watching it and I'm thinking to myself, I want to do that. I want to play like that. So I remember around last year sometime I was driving in my car and I was blasting Machine Head, the last record, which always gets me fired up and inspired. And my favorite track on there, Become the Firestorm, I was playing that, and you know, it just got me so inspired and fired up. When I got back home, like, I immediately wanted to pick up the guitar again. So music is obviously the big motivator behind wanting to play an instrument, right? So listen to your bands, get yourselves fired up, and that's going to be your driving force. The next one I've got for you guys is guitar TLC. So if you've not been playing for a while and your guitar's just been sat to one side, or you know, in a cabinet or something like that, it's probably going to be a little bit dusty. The strings are going to be rusty, right? The fretboard might be a little bit sort of in bad condition just from maybe the last time you were playing and put it down. So, you know, this is all about setting yourself up for the best chance of success. And if your guitar's in bad condition, you know, if the strings are all rusty and stuff, you're just not going to want to play it, right? So treat yourself to a fretboard clean, okay? Get yourself some new strings, put those on, and get the guitar sounding good. Dust it all down, clean it up, and it's going to make you want to actually hold the guitar and put your fingers on the strings. My guitars get absolutely battered because I play a heck of a lot, and I know that if the strings are starting to go a little bit rusty or whatever, like, I just don't want to play it. It just doesn't feel nice under the fingers, and it doesn't sound good. And you're also worrying when you're playing that if you go to bend a string, something's going to snap, okay? You don't want that sort of thing floating around your head when you're trying to get back into it. It's just going to sort of discourage you, basically. So make sure that your guitar's in good condition. Make sure it sounds good. Make sure it feels good. And yeah, just give your guitar that little bit of TLC and it's going to make you want to pick it up more. So the next one that I want to go through with you guys, which is a bit of an obvious one, but it's take it slow. Okay, you're going to be using muscles in your arms and hands and stuff that you've not used for a while. So that means not going in and trying to play the hardest thing that you were able to do a little while ago, or the thing that you were working on, okay? Chances are, you know, you're going to do that and you might not get it right, okay? Or you might get it right, who knows? But if you don't get it right, you're just going to discourage yourself again. It's about setting yourself up for the best chance of success. You might have been watching your favorite bands or guitar players, getting yourselves inspired, like I said, whoever it is, whether it's Machine Head, Black Label Society, Bullet My Valentine, Metallica, we all want to be able to play those songs, right? But give yourself a chance to, like, warm into the idea of playing some of the hardest stuff, okay? So try not to just go straight in with 3-note per string runs and fast gallopy riffs, you know? Give yourself a chance to just warm into the idea of playing again. Start with some simple stuff. Go learn some Black Album songs, okay? There's some great simple riffs on there, you know, if Metallica is your thing, or, you know, you guys know what you like, right? Go for the simpler songs first and just, like, warm yourselves into it. And this way, you know, you'll start getting the muscle memory back, okay? And you'll start feeling good about you playing again. Thinking about going in trying to play, like, the hard stuff straight away, that automatically puts a pressure on the situation as well. You'll have in your head, oh, I used to be able to do this, right? And if you're not able to do it straight away, you're pressurizing yourself, okay? So just take a step back from that stuff, play something simple and enjoyable, and yeah, just let time do its thing. Put the practice in, let the muscle memory come back to you, and then slowly work your way back up to where you were at, or where you want to be. So the next one that I've got is to have your guitar at hand, okay? This is, again, a really simple one that might seem a little bit of a no-brainer, but if you go and put your guitar in a case and, like, you know, in a back room in your house or something like that, sort of stored away, it kind of puts like a block in the way. If you're feeling a bit discouraged, you know, let's say you've got in from work, you're tired and you know you want to play. You know, if the guitar's like, oh, it's all the way in the back room, it's in the case, and I got to get it out of the case, and I got to sit down with it and tune it up. And you see how there's constant like roadblocks in the way there? And when you're tired and you're not really in the frame of mind, but you know you want to do it, those roadblocks, they'll put you off, man. It has been the case for me, yeah? So if you've got your guitar around just like on a stand, you know, next to the couch where you sit or something like that, and it's within arm's reach, again, you're going to be more sort of inclined to pick it up. And it's also going to be an eye shot when you walk in the room, you know? So all my guitars are like hung on the walls and I've got them on stands and stuff like that. So when I come down into my living area, they're around and I see them, like I want to play them just by looking at them. And I know that they're literally just within arm's reach. If I want to pick up and play, like there's never a guitar that's far away for me to pick up. So yeah, have your guitar around somewhere where it's not in the way if you've got multiple people living in your house and it's not going to get knocked over, but have it somewhere where it's accessible so that when you want to play, you just come in, sit down, pick it up, job done. So the next one is to be decisive with your time. Okay, so let's say that you set some time aside, okay, in your day, whether it's when you get home from work or maybe before you got to work in the morning or whatever. Make sure you've got a clear idea of what you want to sit down and work on. How many times have you guys, and I know this has happened to me, but how many times have you guys sat down with a guitar, you know, got yourself plugged in and gone, right, and you don't know what to do. You just don't know what to play, and you just start sort of like noodling around aimlessly, and then you don't really get anywhere, and you just put it down, and again, you're discouraged, right? So maybe write some stuff down for yourself as they come to you, or stick it in your notes on your phone, things that you want to work on, whether it's a song, whether it's a technique, yeah, that sort of thing, whether you want to work on your picking. Set that time aside and be decisive with it. Be like, okay, I got 15 minutes tonight. I'm going to work on my alternate picking, okay? And then the next day, I've got 15, 20 minutes tonight. I'm going to work on that song that I wanted to learn. Okay, and this way, when you sit down with it, you'll be sat down with it for a purpose rather than just sitting down, noodling, and hoping for the best. A lot of the time as well, as guitar players, when we sit down and we've not really got a clear vision of what we want to do, we end up doing something which is the biggest bane of all our existence as guitar players. And yes, that is tone chasing. How many times have you guys sat down to play and then it's like, oh, I really don't like this sound, and then you were listening to a record earlier and the guitar tone sounded really good and your setup doesn't sound quite like that? You might want to set some time aside to just dedicate to getting a tone that you're happy with and you can work with. Almost like pre-production for albums, right? You know, usually when you go and record an album, you'll make sure you've got the guitar tone and the drum sound and all that sort of stuff sorted so you can just go in and record. It's the same idea. Put some time aside to make sure that you've got the tones that you want, your sound, your clean tone, your heavy tone, whatever it is. And this way, when you sit down, you're not worried about a sound that you don't like. That's basically going to consume the entire practice time. And time is precious. I know a lot of people work long hours and stuff like that. So, you know, you haven't got a whole lot of time to practice. So that time's precious if you've got like 20 minutes in a day. You don't want to spend the whole time tone chasing and turning knobs and stuff like that and getting nowhere maybe. And then you've been like, oh, damn, I'm done now. Like, I've got no more time to play and I've spent it tone chasing. So again, be decisive with your time. Decide what you want to do and give your practice time purpose, basically. Just to wrap that little section up, that sort of ties into the last little point, which is little and often. Yeah, don't set aside big 1 hour, 2 hour sit downs, which seldom ever happen, okay? Because when it doesn't happen, because we know how life goes, you'll go, right, I've got 2 hours that I'm going to sit down and play straight for. Something's going to happen. You're going to get a phone call. Something's going to go wrong in the house. Just stuff always comes out of left field, right? And then you'll be like, oh no, that whole big 2 hour, 1 hour sit down that I was planning on is gone. And that was my practice time for this week. If you do little and often, 15 minutes here, 20 minutes here, where you can get it in, this way you're going to be far more consistent, okay? So for instance, it might be like you got 20 minutes in today, but not the next day, but the day after you were able to get 15 minutes in. Can you see the point here? It's consistent rather than these one big hitters, which when they don't happen, it leaves you feeling discouraged and you sort of feel like you're falling behind. So the last point I've got here, which kind of ties into point number one, which is the flip side of number one, if you like, this is very important. That's not to compare yourself, okay? We're all guilty of it, including myself. And in this day and age, you are literally one swipe away from opening your phone and scrolling past 10, 20, 30 incredible guitar players, right, who've spent all the time under the sun, like putting effort into their playing. And you know they're doing bidextral tapping over the fingerboard and really fast galloping, and they're playing the songs that you want to be able to play like 10 times faster than they should be. Yeah, the guitar community is very strong at the minute, but what comes with that is, you know, for people who may be a little bit insecure about their playing and wanting to get back into it, it causes a lot of discouragement, right? I know I've done it a thousand times before where I've opened my phone, I've watched somebody playing and been like, ugh, I'm just never going to get to that level. Screw them. Think about you. Yeah? Think about what you want to achieve. I know there's certain things that I'd probably like to be able to do, but I just haven't got the time to invest into it, okay? So what I do invest my time into is the things that I'm hopefully good at, right? And the things that I want to be good at. So don't let other guitar players' progress sort of like put you off practicing, basically. Yeah, you can get there too if you put in the time, 100%, but you just got to start slow. But don't let it discourage you, and if you're going to take anything from it, just use it as inspiration if you like. A lot of the times I'll open my phone and I'll see some of my peers and favorite YouTubers, whether it's like Matt the Riffmaster, Jamie Slays, I'll see them like galloping away on a Metallica riff and I'll be like, yeah, I want to go and work on that now. So take it as an inspiration rather than sort of like, oh man, I'm never going to reach that level. So just work with you where you're at and where you want to achieve, and that will keep you focused rather than worrying about everybody else's playing. Worry about your own playing. There you go, guys. There's a couple of tips which are hopefully going to help you guys who want to get back into playing again. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something. If I missed anything and you feel that it's going to help others out, be sure to leave it down in the comments below. As always, if you did enjoy the video, please be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Also, be sure to check out my band, A Lost Cause, if you enjoy metalcore music. Stick around on the channel, watch some more videos if you've enjoyed what you've seen today. And I guess I will see you all in the next video now, so take care, guys. Peace.